Hey YouTube, what's up? It has been quite a while since a live stream. Good to be doing this. Hopefully you guys missed it, but not too much, to the point where you're excited to see that I'm back, but not pissed off that I've been not doing this. So I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to hanging out, talking random stuff, answering questions, whatever. We'll see the way it goes as usual. As always, I'll wait a couple minutes to get into questions just as people fill up the room. Hopefully this is a good time and people are hopping on. Anyone that's getting in here, let me know if everything looks good, sounds good. Looks like it might be a bit choppy right now. How does it look for you guys? It looks okay? Okay, it was looking a little choppy on my end, but if everything looks good, just let me know. I'll give it a couple minutes as people get in. Hopefully people got their notifications, all of that. I'll give some updates in the meantime, just as we wait for people to get in here to hang out. What's new? I've been taking it easy, also getting on a schedule. What happened? Well, I was at CapCon in Dallas. That was fun. Posted a video recapping that. So hopefully you guys saw that. If not, go back and check it out. What's going on? I'll be in Vancouver for EECOM Hub Summit, March 15th and 16th. I have a link in the description with a 20% off discount as well, if you use that link and the code. So hopefully I'll be seeing a lot of your faces in Vancouver. It's going to be a hell of an event. Awesome lineup. I'm going to be on a panel, as well as just hanging out for the event. So that's going to be great. Make sure you check that out. What have I been up to lately? Taking it easy, just like, trying to take care of myself. I've been meditating every morning. I've been reading almost every day. I've been waking up a lot earlier and getting at least 8.5 hours of sleep every single night. Which means finally going to sleep a lot earlier. I was always struggling with that and staying up way too late and then waking up way too late. So that's cool. And then that's allowing me to try to stay on a better schedule where I'm I have actual working windows, and then I have times where I'm just not going to even look or pay any attention to work stuff whatsoever. So that's kind of some stuff that's been on my mind. And also just, I've mentioned a lot, but figuring out what my next steps are, right? Like, I'm just I feel like I'm in this in-between transition phase where I'm not necessarily working a ton or trying that hard, because I've reached a place of lifestyle business where I can do relatively what I want, and that sort of freed me from needing to make something happen. So now I'm like, well, what do I want to work on? What will I be passionate about to really work hard on every single day, or not, or take it easier, or what? But just figuring out what I really want to focus on. YouTube definitely is on that list, like majorly. I would really love for YouTube to grow to a point where it's like its own thing. You guys know Graham Stephan, amazing YouTuber. If you don't, go check him out. But just the success he's had through YouTube on its own is really inspiring. And, so I'm sure you guys can see a lot of his influence on my channel in terms of like YouTube stuff, not in terms of like the substance of the content necessarily, but yeah, that's definitely on my mind. We're up to 29. Hopefully some more people get in here. I don't know if this was a good time or if people forgot that I do this now that took a little bit of a break. So hopefully some more people show up. If you're in here live, or if you're watching the replay, actually, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button right now. It makes a huge difference because it tells YouTube's algorithm that this is good content and therefore potentially pushes it out to more people. And so do that every time you ever see my face on YouTube, please. And if you're in here live, just let me know in the chat. Just give me something to know that that you guys are alive. Hello from Baltimore. Greetings from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Oh, Andre, you're there? That's awesome. I didn't notice that you had gone over there. That's really cool. That's so Tim Ferriss of you. Yeah, I mean, Tim Ferriss is definitely a huge influence. You can't see, but Tools or Tribe of Mentors book is sitting over there on a little plank wood table thing. Yeah, I mean, definitely a big influence. Hello from Dublin. What's up, Brian? Hello from Seattle. Greetings from Grass Valley. Nice. Well, of course, as you guys know, I'm in Hermosa Beach, California, Los Angeles by the beach. I can see the ocean. You guys can't see that way right now, but I'm sure you've seen it on my Instagram at Matt Loberstein. Follow me. It's been beautiful out, so definitely been we've been going on walks every single day and just going outside, so never gets old. Commuter time on the East Coast. Yeah, fair. That's probably a good point. Matt, how are you doing? Time to get your own poster to put on that TV behind me. That's my channel. That's my channel. You can't see it? See, that's me, and yeah. I always like open up my own channel in the background, but I guess people don't notice that. What should I put something? I was thinking like because I like the YouTuber Craig Adams. He's one of my favorites, and he did something where he had like the fake fireplace in the background. I don't know. Should we go with a fake fireplace next time maybe? Greetings from West Covina. Nice, not too far. Alive. All right, we can get into questions. Whoa, Samer Bakur, another Samer. I don't know if you know, but Samer Brax, he's going to be at that event in Vancouver that I was mentioning. If you just popped in here now, there's a discount link. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a great event, so I'm really excited for that. But another Samer, that's cool. Is the German market worth trying? So first of all, I only like to speak from experience. So let me give the disclaimer that I am not selling on the German market. I'm sure there is a lot of potential, though from everything I hear, it's for sure a smaller market. But I would say you're probably asking this question from Germany. So you have way less barriers to cross to sell there than I would have, for example. So to me, it's like if you're over there, you might as well try. Like what's your downside? At the same time, though, I would say if you were going to focus only on Germany, which is what I might not recommend necessarily, you're going to have to go for more products and more higher volume products because it's lower volume overall. So you're going to have to go for the top. Whereas in the US, you can go for like a small product and still do pretty well. You're going to have to go bigger in a smaller market to make up for it and have more products and stuff like that. Now, what I'd probably recommend is you can absolutely still look at the U.S. market from Germany. There's absolutely no reason you can't do that. Plenty of people that I know do that. So I would say to not just because you're in Germany, or by the way, this applies to any other country where you're considering selling on UK or anything else. So you have lower barrier to entry to sell there, but that doesn't mean you should only look there. I still think you should really consider the US market too. How's the wife's journey going? She's kind of in a similar place to me as what I was saying a few minutes ago about just trying to figure out what we want to do. So, it's a bit of a luxury to have to like not have to do something that either of us really doesn't want to do, which is why I've kind of like gotten to a place where I'm more reevaluating what I want to do. And she's similar. It's like she doesn't want to just go to some stupid job or whatever, and like nothing feels right. So she's figuring out what she wants to do too. Maybe you're asking because she was doing some social media marketing for a while. Like I had a couple small clients, still a little bit doing that. She's been thrifting and selling on eBay, so I respect that. I love that because that's similar to the way I first got started in e-commerce. I used to buy and sell things from Craigslist onto eBay. That was the first way I was ever self-employed, worked for myself, was running around on Craigslist buying mainly iPhones used and then selling them on eBay. That was really how I got my start and led to everything that I'm doing now in a way. So similar to that, she's doing reselling, but on clothing and going to thrift stores and things like that. So it's a side thing, but it's cool. And she's definitely learning a lot because at least for her, it's pretty much the first time she's made money outside of a job, which, like I talked about in my most recent video right before this, even if it's like not necessarily a lot of money, like that proof of concept is so valuable, because you're going to take that with you and level up into the next thing. And that's what I've been doing in my journey since the very beginning, is doing one thing and then, you know, getting some level of success with that thing, not necessarily like success, but just like some level of it's working, but then leveraging that into a little bit of a bigger risk with bigger upside, and then seeing what's going on there and then leveraging that into the next thing. And again, I find myself at a similar place to that, where it's like, well, now I've done this thing, what do I do? So in a weird way, it's a similar position, but we're happy. I don't mean it to sound like a bad thing. We're just work-wise, we're in a place where we've been a little under very Tim Ferriss, very 4-hour work week around here lately. So Francis, what's up? We got Francis in the chat. If you know who Francis is, hit the like button right now, because Francis is responsible for all of my gorgeous edits on my YouTube channel and much more, but that's what you guys would at least see him and know him for. So Francis is in the chat. He edits all of my YouTube videos since the very first one, by the way. So when I first started on YouTube, I signed up to lose money. Like, I knew that I was just going on this long journey with YouTube. And so I was paying for edits on, if you go back and find my very first video, I was paying for edits from day one. Let's see. Do you have any recommendations for intellectual property law advice? Well, my only advice really is to consult a professional in that field. So find an IP attorney, trademark attorney, whatever it is that you need. This is basically my answer for anything that is legal or tax. I can guide advice on when I think it's necessary or what you might need to ask for, but I don't know what recommendations you're necessarily looking for. I would just find if it's trademark that you need, just find, I would say ask in the Facebook group. People are going to recommend, there's tons. So it really doesn't matter, but whatever you're specifically looking for, if you're looking for help with, like, say, an Amazon issue where they've taken something down and you need the legal, then there are going to be specialists for that, and I would look for those. So, it depends what you need, but it's all out there. I don't really have any direct, and also I don't really know specifically what your issue might be. Matt, can you talk about inexpensive launch strategies for first products? Sure. So the first place my mind went is that the more inexpensive you're looking for, that makes me already a little concerned that you're getting into it in a very protective, defensive way where you're not going to really go for it and make it a real launch where you're really pushing. And that, to me, is the most expensive, because if you do that, you might never get traction and then you lose. So the most inexpensive thing might be to spend more and make it really get momentum and get going, because in the beginning, what you're going to need is momentum. So since you asked for inexpensive, I'm guessing this, and clearly this is your first one, I feel like I can't skip over the fact and the importance of PPC. That is pay per click, Amazon's own sponsored products, basically ads within Amazon. That is so important, and that is the way I talk about it. Like, for example, even in Zero to Brand, the way I talk about it is that is grouped into there's sort of like two launch sections, the way I teach it. And there's kind of like what is absolutely 100% needed. And then there's like, okay, here's all this fancy stuff that you can do to supercharge it, do it later, scale it, or be a wizard and do it all from the beginning. But PPC, great product, great listing, great offering, getting it out there, like that is the stuff that's going to be absolutely imperative from the beginning. Go really hard on PPC, have a great offer. I have personally done product launches this way, or ones that I've been partnered with just in the matter of the last few months, where I've gotten lazy and not necessarily had all the pieces set up that I wanted to because I'm doing other things and whatever. And literally just went like that route where it was, aggressive PPC, great offering, copywritten listing, everything is good to go, but nothing really fancy on top of that. And it's weird, but there's still potential in just doing that. So as far as an inexpensive, keep in mind, like, there are still opportunities that you can get into that simply. And also keep in mind that advertising should not be thought of as an expense, like a line item on your launch budget. And the reason for that, the reason that I think of it that way is because it's going to be, hopefully, unless things are really messed up, it's going to be $1 in, $1 out. So it's not like, oh my God, I need to set aside $3,000 for advertising. No, it's going to be like, once you start spending $100 on ads, then hopefully you're getting back, money from sales. So it's like a cycle rather than just a straight up expense. Matt, a bit unrelated, no problem, I love unrelated, but I know you're into health stuff, and I'm dying to know, what type of water do you drink? Distilled? Any strong opinion on fluoride? Thanks. I actually have some water. I was about to get a drink because I feel like when I talk loud on live streams, I always feel like I need water. So yeah, I mean, if you don't know this about me, I'm a complete health nerd, biohacking, avoiding anything negative that I can, basically. So the water that we drink here, you can't see it, but we actually get true spring water, like straight out of springs, delivered in glass jugs in a glass dispenser. So it goes from a spring into a glass jug into a glass dispenser, and that is the water that I drink mainly. Now, if I'm on the go or something, I'll drink something like Mountain Valley spring water in the green glass bottles. Or, I mean, it's not like I won't have other bottled water if I have to. But that is my water of choice. Pellegrino is a good option too. That's sparkling, of course, but that stuff's clean, comes in glass. Yeah, I don't think fluoride is good. Not because of I don't care at all about whether it helps or not for teeth or preventing cavities. What I care about is the fact that fluoride is a neurotoxin. So it could be magically effective for teeth, and I still don't want to. It's not the right trade-off for me. I don't care to protect my teeth a little bit when it's a neurotoxin, right? Like, which is worse? So yeah, fluoride's not good. Distilled, the problem with distilled water is it kind of kills the water. It's like dead, flat water, because water needs to have natural minerals and a lot of stuff going on, whereas in distilled water, it's all filtered out. And when that's in your body, it would actually suck things out into that water because of the gradient, right? So it's like if you had say salt water and natural water, and there was a membrane in between, it would extract the water into the salt to make it more balanced. Well, that's kind of what can happen with distilled, is now you're drinking this mineral deficient water. There are ways to add it back, and that's not a bad option, but I prefer the more natural. How do you guys like the random topics like that? It's fun for me. I'm curious. Hopefully we didn't lose anybody. Any advice on a foreigner filing for an LLC to sell on Amazon US? Or do you think it will be easier with a UK LTD? To me, and again, not necessarily an expert in this personally, as I am in the US, selling in the US, to me, it's probably, there's way less hurdles to go through to just sell as a UK company on the US. You're absolutely allowed to do that. Somebody else might be able to chime in that there are maybe some conversion benefits to having a US LLC, but to me, it also implicates you into sales taxes and all this other stuff. So I don't know. To me, if I was in the UK, I would probably just set it up in the UK, but I would also probably do some more research and ask people that are in the UK. Matt, what are your thoughts on splitting time between building/growing a business and building a personal brand? Both take up a lot of time. Do you think it's possible to do both at the same time? Yeah, I mean, hopefully I am doing both at the same time. I think it's possible. I think I've changed my thoughts a bit on the personal brand thing and starting on YouTube. I think like a few months ago, I would have said like, there's no reason not to give this a try as you're starting. Like, you know, document the process. Like this can lead to so much stuff. You know, you can start making money in other ways. You'll get connections. You'll get immersed in the space. And that is all true. But I think what I was missing was, do you want to do it? And that's so important in business. And that's something that I'm learning more and more. And it's like, you know, just because something could be a good opportunity doesn't mean you should do it. Doesn't mean that it's the right thing for you. So if you hate the idea of starting a personal brand, don't start a personal brand. Like that, it makes no sense at all. But if you really want to do it, and you would do it even if the outcome was minimal, then do it, because YouTube is hard. And I'm learning that more and more the longer I'm on it, actually. I got lucky to some extent in my early days of YouTube, probably due to the fact that there weren't that many Amazon people on YouTube yet when I started. And I came in offering a more of a like seasoned, experienced perspective in the space, and that just that allowed it to take off a lot. If you've noticed, my channel growth has like, you know, I had a big boost like a year ago, and it's been tough since. And I think that if I had never had that first peak and it had only been like little growth, I might have been discouraged and quit by now, you know, because I've been struggling so much to get a video to hit and go semi-viral to grow the channel. I've been struggling a ton with that for almost a year now. Like all of my biggest videos are older ones. That's why I ask you guys to hit the thumbs up and to comment on all my videos, so we can boost the YouTube algorithm. We need to feed it. We need to feed it, guys. Whoa, there's like a weird light coming in my face through a crack in the blinds over there. Hopefully that's not too distracting. What was I saying? So the thing is that if I had been sort of stuck with like zero, I could just see how discouraging that could be. So if you're going to be happy being stuck at zero and just enjoying making videos and enjoying trying to get out there on a small scale, then absolutely do it. But if you're starting a personal brand just because you think it can be this positive ROI thing, I think that is a scary proposition to take, because there's a serious chance that it won't go anywhere. So, you know, it's up to you, but I think it's possible, especially if you're very motivated and working harder than I'm necessarily working right now. You know, if you're one of those 24/7 type of people, absolutely, it's possible. There's lots of people doing it, but it doesn't mean it's for everyone. Let's see, might be getting a little bit behind in the chat, so if I skip over your question, feel free to ask it again. What's your opinion on Facebook ads right now and for the future? Do you focus more on IG or FB for your own products? Instagram ads for me are more for building a platform off somewhere. Instagram is harder to like convert to a sale. And I'm even in this, like I know this stuff, but there's a whole world of Facebook and Instagram ads that is crazy. Like it can get really intense. So, sorry, getting distracted by messages. I would say focus on Facebook first, for sure. And think about what your goal is too. If your goal is to cold ad on Facebook to profitable sale on Amazon, realize that that is very difficult. And that is only what some, like at the very highest levels, are able to achieve. You cannot just like throw up a Facebook ad, you know, throw $50 at it and make $500 like that. If you're doing that, let me know. I always say that and nobody has. So it's tricky. If you're using it to boost the Amazon algorithm and maybe make sales at break even or a loss, now we're getting into a range of more attainable in most cases. So I think I would, if you're only going to look at one or the other, I would still say Facebook for now, unless something is unique about your product that your audience hangs out more on Instagram. I mean, it's the same targeting. So Facebook and Instagram ads it's basically a placement. It's where is that ad showing up. So it's all the same. It's just a matter of platform. Do you know anyone that started in 2018 and is making over 3K a month? I mean, there's tons. I'm sure that some people in this chat right here can probably chime in that are probably part of that group. So yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Brian, I wasn't specific enough with my last question. Do you have any recommendations for law firms or attorneys? Okay, specific. Yeah, I won't mention it here, but go on to the. I would just say post in the Facebook group. I haven't had to use any relatively recently, but I do have one I could potentially point you to, or Facebook group. But just in case anything changes, or I just prefer not to like put a name out right now, because I don't have like a one go-to, like this is my guy, like, you know, all of that. So yeah. Matt, I want to thank you for what you do, bro. You are literally selling the dream for free. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'm not just selling the dream, and I'm also, you know, like giving the steps to achieve it. What type of daily budget would you recommend for PPC campaigns at the start? And I assume high bids. Yeah, I mean, I'll start with the bid piece of your question, and you have to start high because you need to get it firing. And I see a mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they go in really conservative, and then they're like, I only spent 50 cents yesterday, or I spent 0, and that's because the bid is too low. So you, especially at the beginning, like raise the bid higher than you think just to get it firing, and then you'll tune it down once Amazon learns where to place your ads, what's working, you start getting some data and stuff like that. Now for budget, it's all up to your risk tolerance personally, like and how big of a product. Like if I was doing like a huge, big, aggressive product where I'm going big with this one, you know, I would personally start it at like 100 a day, or, you know, I would just, you know, see what happens, or more. But, you know, for most people, I would say like, you know, 30 to 50 bucks a day. But the real answer is that you're going to immediately change that, because it all depends on what happens. So if you spend 50 bucks a day for 3 days and you've had 0 sales, something else is wrong, and address that. Now, if the very first day you're doing nothing but PPC and you spend 50 bucks on PPC and you make 120 bucks in sales, and that's like break even with your profit margin, then I would say then the very next day I would go from 50 to 100 just to see if I could maintain that, because your goal should just be that momentum at the beginning. So yeah. In a listing with variations, when you rank for one product in the variation, do all your items in the same variation listing rank up, or just that one product? Would you do PPC for all or just one item? So the rank aspect, I believe, like in terms of SEO rank and search results, I believe that changes based on category. I know for a few categories the way it works, but in general, it's I do PPC for all of them in either case. So I guess that's the core of the answer to your question, is that in either case, they're all in my PPC campaigns, and I'm adjusting them all based on the results of each. So you shouldn't just do one unless you only want to sell one. So you should absolutely target ads on each of them. Now it will show in the search results the most popular of the variations, unless you're bidding. If you're bidding on a other variation, it's going to of course show that variation in the PPC for when you're bidding on that one. But in the organic search, it's typically going to show the most popular variation. Maybe it gets a little smarter in terms of like relevant keywords if they're not like just like a color variation or something. Well, yeah, because if you typed in a color variation, it would index that differently. So either way, the answer to the question is bid on all of them because you want to sell all of them. Sammer, been a while. Your event link isn't clickable in the description. My bad. I will fix that right now. Let me see if that if not, I'll fix it after, but I think I just fixed it. Again, a reminder though, that event link, that is EECOM Hub Summit in Vancouver, March 15th, 16th. I'm going to be there. Samer's going to be there. Tom Wong is, well, Samer's helping with it. Tom Wong is one of the ones running it as well. It's going to be a great event. Lots of great speakers. I'm going to be there. Hope to see you there. And if you do want to join us, there's a 20% off link in the description. So, you know, if you're going to go get 20% off, you might as well. And full disclosure, I'll get a kickback if you use that as well. So you can, you know, buy me some more weird spring water and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know, something like that. It's your way of supporting the channel. What's your approach to PPC? I used to have 20 to 25% ACOS. The cost went up. Now I have a few campaigns and my ACOS is fluctuating between 35 to 120%. Lately closer to 80 to 100%. How do you deal with this? So you are clearly at the stage where you can't just keep blasting it at 100%. You know, you can't. So I don't know how, I would need to sort of like ask you a lot of follow-up questions to give you the most detailed answer, but you're at the stage where now you need to really dial in your refining of PPC. It's not just a matter of like pushing. Now you're kind of going to turn it to more of a refining strategy. So that means, you know, both on the campaign level and on the keyword level, that means spending more on the profitable aspects, spending less on the unprofitable. That's like a simple philosophy that if you just take that one sentence, you can figure out everything I would ever say about PPC from that one sentence, basically, in terms of refining what you already have. Now, obviously, you should keep testing stuff. You should, you know, pull search term reports, run those back into your manual, all of that type of stuff. But for when you already have this past data, you know, that means if I see something that has 100%, if I see something that has 500% ACOS, or if I see something that has spent $100 but never gotten a sale, those ones I might just turn off. But if I see something that like used to do well but now isn't, but it has like 100% ACOS, I might just lower the bid and then check back in another few weeks or a month and see if that kind of like balanced it out by bidding less. Now that will kind of go like in proportion to how bad or good it's going. Meaning if it's, you know, a 55% ACOS, I might tune that down a little and see what happens. If it's a 12% ACOS, I might double my bid and see what happens. So you definitely have to be doing a lot more of that at this point. Samer started new product December 2018 and now at around 10K a month in sales from just one. Would be more if I had enough stock. Yeah. The classic best and worst problem to have is you have a great product and you're right out of stock. So I can relate, but it's a good problem to have. Just, you know, get back. But 10K, I mean, dude, that's awesome. Samer, you guys know Samer. Check out his channel if you have not already. Type in our names together, you'll find some sweet interviews. So, yeah. My leg is falling asleep. Let's see. Top tips for ranking when launching a new product. I know sales velocity is key, but what is the best way to get that velocity? Thinking of using CPR method. Yeah, I mean, so I guess I haven't explained this recently, but like when you're talking about it that way, you're typically just talking about ranking for one keyword, right? And I'm definitely not going to say that that's not important, but that's definitely also not the whole picture. And to me, what ranking is showing up within this complete web of Amazon. You know, there are so many different keywords that people are potentially typing in to find your product. They are finding your product from other people's product. Whoa, Samer, thanks for the five Canadian. How much is that in US? Is that more or less than 5 in US? I think it's less, right? Yeah, I can catch you in Vancouver. Thanks, dude. What do I have to do for the $5? Do I have to like do something now? Where was I? What question was I on? Jessica's here in the corner. You can't see her, but that's why I'm looking over there now. She just got here. Oh yeah, ranking. So ranking. Yeah, as I was saying, like one keyword, it's important, but to me what ranking is showing up for a lot of different keywords, showing up on other people's products, showing up in frequently bought together, showing up in customers who also viewed, showing up in the recommendations when you get to the cart. You know, there's so many ways people find your product other than just typing in that main keyword. It's still important, and it's still part of the puzzle, but like it's not the whole picture either, right? So, you know, pick a medium keyword that you think you can actually attack. You know, don't take a keyword that's going to take 300 sales a day to get in there, but, you know, blast PPC on a handful that you really believe in. If you're running Facebook ads or have some kind of list or offer, you know, point those into a couple different ones that, or you know, vary it over time, like target this one for a while, then target the next one, base it on results. So yeah, I mean, it's a good method, but it's also not the whole picture. At least it hasn't been like a crucial part of my strategy. You know, I think I've told you guys this before, but like my biggest seller over years is not page one for the biggest keywords. It doesn't have to be, because it's a big market and there's a lot of keywords, and you know, it's just like more complex and convoluted than just like top keyword, page one, or nothing, right? So yeah. I like this question. I just got my notification for too much time spent on YouTube because I have that set up. Had to get out of it. How do you learn more about watches to get your timepiece game up? I'll give a shout out to a YouTube channel that I've been enjoying. His name is Teddy Baldessar. I would check out his channel. I've been watching it recently. I like it. It's probably a good introduction. You know, it's cool that things like that are even catching on YouTube now. I think I mentioned it on Facebook recently that I almost started a watch YouTube channel about 4 or 5 years ago. And I never did. And part of me kind of regrets that. So when I see Teddy doing that and doing well, I'm like, maybe I should have done that 4 years ago or whatever. Maybe I still should. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good place for me. Like, you know, Reddit, R Watches, Hodinkee, HODINKEE. It's like a blog media company. They have great content. Hodinkee, they've been around. I remember when they were new, so that's a great resource for watches. But yeah, you just gotta like really go down the rabbit holes of like forums and stuff like that and see what people are saying, and like not get too. There's just a lot of crap. Like I'm a total snob when it comes to watches. Like, you do not want to ask me what watch to get unless you want like something very particular and for me to like shit on all of your ideas. Like that sounds like weird, but like I just mean, it's like there's so much to watches. There's like the history of the brand, the nuance of the actual engineering of the movement and the mechanics. There's like the quality of the finishings. There's like the actual materials used. There's just aesthetic designs. There's people not knowing what size watch to get for their wrist. You know, there's obviously like quartz battery watches. Then there's mechanical watches. There's vintage. There's modern. There's a lot to it. So you really need to like dig deep, because part of the reason I think I'm passionate about it, I used to flip watches. I'm considering getting back into flipping watches for fun because I loved it so much, and I love buying watches. So it's a good way to buy watches if I can sell them for profits. And the thing is that if you buy like a movement watch, you know, MVMT, like I can't imagine there's any resale on those things. Like there's just nothing. There's nothing intrinsically valuable with a watch like that. And like, I respect what they're doing. I think they're an amazing case study of like building a brand in e-commerce, and that's why I think it's like a weird two-sided thing in my head, because I think they're an incredible case study of that. But like in terms of actual like watch significance, like no. So the thing for me is, it's like you can buy, like most of my watch collection is worth more than I paid for. So meanwhile, if you go into like, you know, a department store and buy a $350 watch, it's worth zero by the time you walk out the door. So that's definitely part of my philosophy on watches, is like the actual value. Let's see. As I look for some more questions, as I catch up, smash the like button. How many people have actually smashed it? If you're in the live chat on mobile, by the way, you have to click the X on the chat, then hit the thumbs up, then click on the chat. You have to like leave the chat temporarily, not leave the video, just like X the chat, thumbs up, click chat. That took us some time to figure out. Not really. Where are we with questions? Hit up some new questions. I'll just skip to the current. Are you guys liking this? Are you guys happy that I ended this streak of no live stream Q&A? What do you think? Should I do this how often do you think I should do live streams? Because I don't want to like overdo it to the point where people like don't bother showing up or don't have new questions. What do you think is the right frequency of live streams? And do you think they should just be open-ended questions, or should they be like a specific agenda or topic or something like that? For the 5 Canadian, Sammer says less, but shh, get organic coffee. Yeah, I think my coffee's actually not that cheap. So that's about $3.75. Sweet. That means I made about $3.75 in the last 40 minutes. That's a solid ROI. Watch Wednesday, the new weekly episode. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would be fun, but not ready to commit to that. I am definitely, I don't know if you guys saw, I did like an unboxing video of a watch. If you're in here, I'm really curious. If you actually saw that video, let me know. And I'm definitely going to do one of just like breaking down my entire collection. I don't know if people will like it. Some people keep asking me for it. It's obviously a small niche of my audience, but I just really want to make that video. I think that one would be cool. So, maybe within the next few weeks or so, I'll make that where I just kind of like show all of my watches and kind of like explain each one a little bit. But yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Would give a $5 myself, but unfortunately it's not supported in my country. What? Well, I'll just send you my PayPal address and no, I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. Ooh, this is a very interesting question, which I will try my best to answer. Jessica's laughing at me.
That was funny.
Well, because I don't know.
I'm going to answer it.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Well, because I don't know if I can give a great. I'm gonna try my best to answer. How do I figure out the right starting price for my product when introducing a new bundle into the market? So you're trying to price a product where you don't have any direct comparables, right? It's not like you can look and see, well, this guy's at $23 and this one's at $25 and mine is basically the same and I'm going to be 22 or 24 or 26 or whatever. It sounds like you're maybe doing something that, let's say, compares to a $25 product but has another thing with it that might be valued at, say, 10. So, it's really just a matter of putting yourself in the customer's shoes. And I think this applies to so many aspects of branding, of positioning, of building your listing, of the way you write your description to the way your photos are done. It's just like putting yourself in the buyer's shoes and like what seems good to you, like what is compelling to you, like what price feels right. What price does this seem like it's the right positioning such that it gives good value. It seems premium if that's the angle that you're going, which most likely it is. And, I wouldn't necessarily base it on your costs. I would base it on the value to the end customer. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Sundays, not Sundays. I like, it's funny because, hustle, all that. I used to not know what day of the week it was, but now I basically like don't work on the weekends. Like I basically made that just like a rule. I don't know. So I do. I mean, actually, I might have to do a little stuff this weekend because I didn't film a video for next week today. So might do like a video tomorrow or something. But yeah, I'm not going to get in the habit of doing live streams on the weekend. Sorry. I'm thinking like Friday because I feel like, at least according to like Graham Stephan, who is my go-to YouTuber genius, he feels like, Monday and Wednesday especially are great days to post. Friday's a little not as good. So you know, if I was going to get up to say 3 a week or something, I would probably like put the live stream on like Friday, hence why I'm on here right now. Just an idea, but you know, I'm not saying I'm going to get to 3 a week, but it would be cool. Maybe the thought I had earlier today, maybe a live stream is every other Friday, and then I try to get up to like 2 or 3 videos a week, something like that. Every other week. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Weekly, open-ended, weekly. I'm surprised you guys wouldn't get tired of me? You guys would keep coming every single week? All right, we'll see. FBA and lifestyle questions, just like this live stream. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like super fun to answer random questions. I don't know why. It's just, I mean, I guess everyone likes to kind of talk about themselves, right? But it's just fun to talk about like stuff that is just other interesting things, right? You know? So I'm glad you guys don't just only ask me that stuff. You should continue to do live chats. Helps others who are not on chat later can still get answers. Yeah, I mean, so if you're looking for answers and if you're watching the replay, for example, first of all, smash the like button. Second of all, free Facebook group in the description. That is a great way to get questions answered. On top of that, you can always comment on the live stream once it's posted as a regular video. After the live stream, it takes about 30 minutes to an hour, but the live stream will be up on my YouTube channel as a regular video you can watch forever in the future, and you can comment on that. And I respond to pretty much every comment unless it somehow gets buried, or sometimes the way that it works with YouTube, like from the creator side, is I can see every comment that I haven't replied to easily. But the ones that I miss sometimes are if it's a reply to my reply. There's no way to like sort it for those, and I don't seem to always get notifications for that. So if I ever reply to your comment and then you reply to me again and I miss it, like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of a weird thing with YouTube. If anyone knows like a way to better sort the comments, but it just seems like the way YouTube is built, it's really hard to see replies to your reply. But if you're posting a fresh comment, I mean, I respond to literally like I don't think there's been a comment in the last couple months that hasn't got a reply to me, at least on like the top level comment. Maybe I've missed a reply under that, but you know, ask follow-up questions. I'm always looking for video ideas, by the way, everyone. This is for you. This is like, you know, I'm not just going to do this talking to myself. So, you know, I feed off of your questions and your comments and all of that, and I'm going to cater the next videos to that. So if you feel like there's something that hasn't been answered, let me know in the comments. Tell me in the Facebook group, hey, make a video about this. Like, there's a really good chance that it's going to happen, because I'm always looking to, I want to create the videos that have the most chance of reaching people that like answers that they need help with, right? So yeah. Saw it, definitely a watch fan regarding the unboxing video. Sweet. Roughly how many sales per day from that top product? Well, it's hard. It has many variations, so it's like spread across many, and it also like varies a lot seasonally, but you know, it varies. Oh, and also for the dude who wants to know more about watches, just go down the rabbit hole of YouTube. Yeah. How do you go about filling out the other attributes section of your product listing? Yeah, that's a good question that I'll actually expand to. Let's just talk about everything other than the obvious, like bullets, you know, title, description, like size of the package and stuff like that. My philosophy on that. Oh wait, I just saw one comment. Skipped me twice. What was your Liren? I must have missed it, but ask again. I'm not meaning to skip questions, but you know, sometimes I just skip to the current. Yeah, so any other thing of your listing, my philosophy has always been to just fill out as much as possible, because we don't necessarily know like which of those are going to help, and it all helps with sort of like the categorization of your product and kind of fitting it into their catalog with all the other products. So you should just fill out as much as humanly possible, in my opinion. Something like subject matter might rank for keywords. You can keep that in mind. But other attributes, I mean, I don't even know. I probably just put, I don't have like an exact, like, this is what I put for other attributes, but I just try to select things that make sense. And, or even if it doesn't necessarily make sense, like you're better to have something there than nothing, in my opinion.
He wants to know Amazon's long term. He's 19.
Okay. Why do I not see his comment? Well, according to Jessica, I don't know why your comment is not showing up for me,
It's all that.
but
Kind of on top.
is Amazon long term? Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, and the best part is that we're using Amazon to launch something much bigger, and that is kind of the beauty of a brand, right? Which is obviously the philosophy that I take. That's the philosophy I teach in my Zero to Brand program. That is what I'm talking about here. And Amazon is like, I do Amazon, right? But by doing it the right way, you're laying a foundation for what could be much more than just Amazon, right? So long term, it might not even matter. It might not matter. And by then you might be so established anyways that even if Amazon is hard by then, you will be an established real brand. And surely established real brands are going to be selling on Amazon long term, right? So no worries there. But you can eventually do your own website. You could go wholesale and get into retail. I mean, there's so many angles to go when you own the product. So obviously what I talk about is focused on Amazon, but it's always like, I'm always talking about Amazon in the context of having the potential to, take this further, right? Did the stream just mess up?
For a sec. Or, actually, yeah. It's like lagging.
The stream's been a little off. I don't know why. Like, for me, it's been, like, on mine, it's been glitching the whole time, but people are saying it's okay, so. 50 watching, 26 likes. Yeah, that's a problem. Smash the like button. Thoughts on Jungle Scout extension? I think it's great. It's what I use. I have a $20 off link.
It's lagging a lot. It's like stopping. It's not even loading.
All right, let me just pause for a sec. If you guys are listening to this, I'm just hoping that the stream kind of calms down. My computer is like getting a little worked up here. Excuse me. You'd think that like brand new MacBook Pros would be
Okay, now it's working.
a little more able to handle stuff, but I hear the fan like going intense. Okay, thoughts on Jungle Scout extension. Yeah, first off, you can search my name and Jungle Scout on YouTube, and I've made videos explaining it. I think it's great. It's what I've used, and I have a $20 off link in the description if you want. One thing on that, if you're considering it, if you're on the fence, you should really get into it, because I haven't said this yet, but Jungle Scout is changing to a monthly model for the extension soon. I think like, I forget really soon, but I know that they're letting our like people like me, my link will still work for this until I think the end of March, or I think the end of March. Don't quote me on that, but you should just do it ASAP, because if you get in now for the lifetime price, then you're not going to be having to pay whatever monthly charge they're switching to. So if you're at all considering it, take the $20 off the lifetime now. That's the way it's been. That's like a good deal, and it's going to be better than whatever this monthly long-term that they switch to. So the link, just use my regular link in the description. It has the $20 off. Probably going to wrap up within just a minute here, just looking for any last question. Damn. I don't know what the deal is with like technology. It was weird the whole time. For me, it looked laggy the whole time, but people told me it was good, so just went with it. Weird. Well, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not right now.
I can hear you, it's just the video's off.
But the audio is fine?
For me, it's fine.
Okay, then I'm just gonna like wrap up within a minute or two, but yeah, it's video choppy for anyone. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. have everything set the same. I always do. Just makes no sense.
Computer not?
Yeah, but like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I guess we're at just about an hour. I will do this more. It's been a while since, so let's just like cut it there and leave some on the table so that you guys will come to the next one.
Wait, Brian wants you to answer his question really quick.
Brian wants me to answer his question really quick. My question keeps getting.
Do you think it's better to use long tail?
I'm looking. With a lower budget, do you think it's better to use a long tail exact phrase campaign or a broad short head campaign? Well, so for PPC from the beginning with a lower budget, I would always say do automatic at the very least. Always, everyone should be doing automatic. Now, you should probably also be doing manual at the same time. Automatic is going to go out and get a bunch of new keywords for you. That is a long story, but you should always be doing automatic on top of whatever else you're doing. Now, for manual, I would still take I would do this, whether it was a big budget or a small budget, I would kind of take the same approach here, which is like, if I'm starting day one manual, I'm not going to go super widespread anyways. Dump in the most relevant keywords that you have to go after and start testing there. I would start with phrase match for manual. Personally, I never use broad manual because I get that from my automatic, and then I use phrase manual and exact manual. So everything gets funneled into exact manual, and my exploratory stuff is auto and phrase. So yeah. Anyways, let's just wrap up there. I'll leave some on the table so you guys will come to the next one. Tell your friends, tell your mom, because we need more people here. Seems like some people forgot since it's been a while. So hopefully you guys liked this and smash the like button. If somehow you found this video in the future on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it. That's the way you'll actually get notified when I go live. So if you're here watching or you're watching the replay, whatever, please do hit that bell. Then you can be in here interacting, talking to each other, asking me questions. So you definitely want to be doing that. And check out the links in the description. There's the discount to EECOM Hub Summit that I'll be at. There's that discount to Jungle Scout with their lifetime ending, as I mentioned. There's the free Facebook group that all of you should be in. So please send in your requests and I'll get those approved right away. And there's also links to everything else that I use, from software to camera gear. And there's also, of course, the Zero to Brand program, which is my A to Z program, video course, plus community, everything you need to know to give this all a real shot and have me on your side, and have this laid out in a way that can avoid you some mistakes and speed up the process and shift your perspective to doing this in the way that is not just like a short-term thing, but is something that has a better potential of success and long-term success. So check that out.